I'm Claire, welcome back to Ballymelon Farm. It's been such a long time since we've been in the garden, but we're back here today and we are just going to start pulling out plants that are just no longer producing very well, weeding, and then I'm just going to be mulching with our wool mulch to get things ready for to put some of the beds to sleep for the winter, but also I'm going to be planting out some crops that are going to be growing steadily over the winter, and we should get a pretty early spring harvest from those. So the things I'm going to concentrate on getting into the ground is the garlic. So I really like to get our garlic in the ground as early as possible because we do get quite a lot of problems with rust here. So I found the earlier I get it in, the least problem I've had with rust. So fingers crossed. It's always one of those crops that I go, oh, I'm not going to do that again, and then I always do it again. But I'm really pleased that I do because we've had the best harvest that we've ever had last year for our garlic. So fingers crossed that we get a really good harvest again this year. So I'm also wanting to get in some carrots. We had an amazing crop of carrots last year, so I'm going to plan to do 2 of our raised beds in carrots. I also want to get some winter greens, kale, spinach, silverback, things like that, as well as some lettuce. What else have I got? Some celery, some coriander, some parsley, and then I think I will probably do some things like spring onions and leeks. But yeah, that's the plan for this area. So what I'll do with this video is I'll just show you around a little bit, weeds and all, show you what we've got going on. So Lance has got the tractor here ready for us to chuck weeds in the trailer. So we've just got this old trailer here. It's really handy for sticking on the back of one of the little Massey Fergusons and getting all of the weeds out of the garden. On this arch trellis I have some beans. We didn't really need very many beans this year, so I have kind of left most of them. And I probably will use them for seed. On this side we've got a calendula here, and it has, this is my favorite thing, just self-seeded everywhere, so that's really awesome. This is one of the beds I've already weeded. I've just got some seedlings here that I've bought. We've got some straw flower, and we've got some kale there. That's all going really well still. And then on the bed on the other side, this is where I had carrots. So I've weeded and pulled out most of the carrots. You can see some have, some are still in there that need to come out. Just some flowers, so some more calendula there and a dahlia, as well as a corn flower there. So the next 2 beds, these are where I had our onions. So I've weeded that bed, pulled up all the onions. They have been curing and they're all in storage now, and I still have some alyssum there that should carry on through winter. We've just got some self-seeded tomatoes here, so I'm not sure what the variety of those are, but they will come in handy. So some straw flower, some zinnias. The flowers all seem to be taking off at the moment, so I've got some more zinnia seedlings coming up there and just some more self-seeded tomatoes in that bed. The next 2 beds are pretty messy. I haven't got to those yet, but like I said, all our flowers seem to be taking off. So this cosmos has just got massive. It's enjoying the cooler weather a little bit, it seems, and it's just gone crazy. These are all brassicas that need to come out, and weeds. And then on this side is just more self-seeded tomatoes. So I think this whole plant here, I think, is a black cherry. Just found some massive zucchini in here, so I'm going to pull these and go and give them to the chickens. Wow, that one was hiding under the other one. It's massive. Check that out. It's massive. So the chickens will like that. There's 2 of them as well, so it's so big. I can't carry the camera and hold both of them. Oh look, they're fighting. Be kind to each other, roosters. Right, and on the last bed on this side there's just lots of stuff that has to come out, lots of weeds and self-seeded tomatoes. These are quite cool. I think they are rampicante squash, so there's a couple hanging as well as a couple just dangling down there. So yeah, these 2 beds are pretty weedy, lots of stuff that needs to come out, but it's such a nice view from this direction of the garden with the squash hanging there and the tractor and the cosmos. It looks really nice. This is probably my favourite view of the garden at the moment. Right, onto this disastrous mess. So this is all our tomatoes. They all got blight really early on and they all just need to come out. So yep, it's a mess, but it happens. So no worries, we'll just come in here, pull everything out, and then we will mulch the holes with some wool. We do have some later ones on this side that seem to be doing a lot better. Oh, I can see a massive tomato in there. So there may be some hope for the ones on this side. We'll just see how they go. It would be good if we could get these ones that have blight out so it doesn't spread over to them, but we'll just have to see if we have time for that. So yeah, lots of nice ones on this side. I just noticed this on the pathway, lots of brassica seedlings of some sort. So I might have to grab some of those out and put them in trays. There's also a little self-seeded tomato there, which is cool. So I could grab that out as well, probably. Alright, the jungle that is the greenhouse. I'm not even going to walk in there because it is really hard to get through it at the moment without smelling like tomatoes, and I don't really feel like smelling like tomatoes at the moment. So still lots growing in there, lots of eggplants, peppers, still some of the tomatoes are going really well. So yeah, we'll have to come in one day and just go through and pull out all the things we don't want in there. Alright, this side is a bit of a disaster because I've done no weeding on this side. So we pretty much just have weeds and pumpkins that are starting to die off. So really need to get in here and pull these weeds. There are some red onions in there that I need to get to too, so hopefully they haven't hopefully the red onions in there are still going to be okay for eating. Oh, some of them are massive. Oh my goodness. Check that out. Oh, check that out, like it's so big, and I think it's a bit squishy though. I might take that one inside and see what it's like. Lots and lots of massive ones. That is massive. So yeah, I have to come out and weed this and see what red onions are salvageable. Moving on to our little pumpkins. So we're gonna need to come and pick all these up. The plants all died away really well. If I can find a tag. So these are all baby bear pumpkins. So they're pretty, you know, they're pretty small. Some of them are like, you know, only as big as that onion that I just had in my hand. But they should be tasty, I think. Nice little pumpkins. I might actually take that one home since I pulled the top of it, and we'll have that one for tea. So yeah, more weeds along here. Some silver beet. We'll probably feed that to the chickens. That's interesting. Oh, that's borage. So we had borage planted close by, so that looks like it's all self-seeded there. Just some more brassicas that have gone to seed, and then a ton of weeds. And I think, yeah, there's a rhubarb in there too, so I will move that over with the other rhubarbs. So that's all the main bit of garden. What we tend to do with our garden, and it's something that we've wanted to get better at, but currently what we do is we plant everything out in spring and then leave it to grow, harvest from it, you know, and then you let it die back. Summertime is a really difficult time for us to get in the garden. We just find, especially like December through January, we're either away or we've got kid sports things or you know, events or whatever. So summer tends to be a super busy time for us. So the garden tends to be a lot more neglected in the summertime, you know, especially when I start preserving, as well as just, you know, all the stuff you have on in summer. You know, you want to go to the beach and you want to go on holiday and all that kind of stuff. So we don't put too much pressure on ourselves to have it looking perfect. You know, it's full of weeds, stuff doesn't get done. We tend to come through at this time of the year, weed everything out, and then start again. So then plant everything for winter, so to grow over winter. So we don't tend to get many frosts here, and it doesn't tend to get very cold. So I think we're kind of lucky in that way. We also have the greenhouse, so we may, you know, we grow things all year outside and as well as in the greenhouse. So that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue for us. So over to the second side of the garden, and this is just a massive big mess. So we've got pumpkins, I think these are pukekoi longkeeper, as well as, so there's some butternut pumpkins in here as well. We had sweet peas up this trellis, which is really nice, and I'd say they're just going to self-seed and carry on growing. This is our herb garden, so you can see in there there's sage and chamomile, comfrey, there's some mint. So I pulled all this mint out last year, and it's just starting to come back again, which is not too much of a big deal. I just want to keep on top of it, so I'll just keep pulling it. What else do we have in here? There's so there's some rosemary, and there's thyme and oregano in there somewhere as well. Looks like there's a little tomato plant growing. So this is full of stuff. It's all just starting to die back now. This one I just planted anything that I had really. So it's got, there's some other nice butternut squash in there, another one over there. As well as I had zinnias and sunflowers. There's aster, I think, so that should just drop its seed and then come back again. There's some tomato plants. I think there's some pepper plants in there somewhere. There's watermelon here, which is not doing much, and look, there's a self-seeded cosmos there, so that's nice. So amongst all these weeds are our citrus trees, so we'll need to come along and pull all these nightshades out, as well as the ones in our strawberry patch. There's also lots of runners that I need to come and pot up, but they have seemed to be, they've been doing okay at the moment. Moving along, here is all of our rhubarb, so that's ready to be harvested again. So probably after the weeding, I will just come along and do another harvest when I don't have anything else to preserve. And this is the super disaster. So we set up all these new beds in hopes of making it easier to manage the convolvulus, but we didn't. My thoughts with this is just to come out and pull as much as we can, and then we will probably just cover these and not use them this spring and see if we can get on top of it. We did that with one of them where the convolvulus was the worst, and kind of thought that the others would be okay, but they're not, and it's just everywhere. It's such a bugger to have, and it's one of those things that you can manage if you keep pulling out the new shoots, but we just have too much going on that we couldn't manage that. So it's a mess. Hopefully we'll get on top of it. Otherwise we'll just keep it covered. Our space, other spaces, big enough at the moment, and this is just kind of bonus extra space, so we'll see how we go. But anyway, I'll show you it. So there is, I think there's 12 more raised beds in here. So yeah, just mostly weeds in here. I'm walking on the pathway, but so we do have some peppers, which are cool. So there's some bell peppers here. I might dig these up and overwinter them. Though some of them have gone really well here. And some pumpkins. So pumpkins have done a good job at overcoming all the convolvulus, so that's really cool. So we've got some more nice pumpkins here. So all of this area is different varieties of pumpkins. This one. So all of this is pumpkins and weeds. What else do we have? Definitely these top beds seem to have more of the convolvulus than these ones down this end. There are some massive pumpkins in these beds, which is cool. This one's the kids' garden. We've got some cucumbers growing. Oh, and some rotten cucumbers. So that's cool. They'll have to go to the chickens, I think, because they look super massive. I think it's supposed to be a little variety of cucumber. We've got some massive spaghetti squash. Those are super huge. There's a few nice flowers here. Lots more spaghetti squash here. So it looks like we're going to be putting some spaghetti squash into this bud box. So that's a bit of a tour of the mess that we have going on in the garden. The next few videos we'll do is probably just us getting in here and getting it sorted out for our autumn winter planting. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.